Chapter 28. It is to be understood that the time of realization by humanity that it has come to a crossroads is happening now. A decision must be made as to whether to continue on under the influence of those who would continue to control them or to accept the responsibility of choosing their own future. Under the influence of the methods of control being applied now, the consideration of taking such responsibility by a large portion of humanity is not possible. Take into consideration the number of humans who are not even vaguely aware of the situation that confronts the planet and its inhabitants, and the chances of ever attracting the interest of a considerable portion of humans are next to impossible. However, when those who are aware, no matter how few by comparison to the number inhabiting the planet, come together in agreement as to this choice, the balance of power is changed. This is even more powerful when these concerted foci are aligned within the action of the laws of the universe. It is to be remembered that when the action of one group involves interfering with the freedom to evolve of another group, this is in conflict with the natural flow of creative expansion of the galactic, universal environment. A plan that is in conflict with the creative flow requires constant attention and management in order to maintain itself, for there is no interactive creative thought to correlate the facets of activity into a naturally cohesive thrust into manifestation. Once the decision is made by a group in agreement to return a deceived group back into the flow of expansive evolvement, heaven and earth combine in a flow toward accomplishing that goal. The laws of the universe are invoked and thought thinking becomes interactive with results that are beyond the comprehension of the originating focused group. The momentum grows exponentially and manifestation occurs spontaneously. Considering the bigger picture in a condensed version allows those contemplating its accomplishability get a sense of its possibility and grasp a knowingness of how the process works in essence. However, it is necessary that each and all understand that the process does not work by itself. If it did, the situation as it now exists would never have come into being. There must be carefully laid groundwork in order for the process to begin and continue to a point to which it will then complete itself. There is indeed such a point. The originating group will have no way to ascertain this point and so must initiate and continue to hold the desire and intention in place through the greater portion of the process, lest they withdraw in overconfidence before that unknowable point is reached. Desire and intention have been stressed many times, however there is action also required. Physical resistance to the overwhelming forces of those who intend to intensify their overseer roles is pointless and futile. Those that intend to change the destiny of this planet and its inhabitants must direct their action toward the spread of the concepts of manifesting the new paradigm. This new paradigm of experience will be accomplished through the understanding and application of the basic laws of the universe: focus, intention and allowance, bringing forth the end result of balance and harmony. This would appear to be quite simple when considered in its basic conceptual understanding. However, to apply these principles in the midst of coercion, chaos, and confusion in a firm trust and knowing that the laws are working when there is no physical proof to justify that all-important belief is not a simple task. When the five senses cannot be trusted to tell each committed individual what is happening, then the process is not simple or easy in its application. If humanity cannot come up with a group of focused individuals to hold this desire and intention for a new experience in a committed fashion, then the planet itself will begin a cleansing to enable itself to avoid extinction. This process is already beginning. The degree to which commitment is made and held as the subsequent events unfold will determine greatly to what extent the planet will need to cleanse itself. This commitment involves the shedding of the victim stance and the willingness to claim Earth citizenship, including the responsibilities that this will involve. There can be no looking back, no blaming for the past and present experience, and decisions will have to be made with regard to repairing the damage to the planet. Greed and abuse patterns must be transcended with the highest and best good for each and all always as the controlling factor. Those who cannot accept these guidelines cannot be allowed to influence decision-making situations. Discernment and disclosure of intentions will be the hallmark of all discussions. If the Earth proceeds to cleanse itself, then of what good are these messages and the desire and intention of those who are attracted to this process? Who indeed will survive as a remnant to repopulate the planet? Will it be those who have misused the planet or those who would heal the inhabitants and the planet with loving intent? Since all that exists, as manifested reality, is vibrational, those that exist in a vibratory rate that is harmonious with the planet will find themselves in safe places. Those safe places will exist where these individuals are. There are no safe places as designated on the planet despite any and all predictions. There will be safe places in the midst of any and all disaster experiences. It is the consciousness of the individuals themselves that will create those places. Those that respond to the call to planetary, galactic citizenship and are able to transcend the victim stance and take on the mantle of responsibility to create a new experience will come through the days ahead to guide this planet to a new level of experience. The law of attraction will bring about its inevitable evening into balance and harmony. Whether any of humanity on this planet presently will come through this experience is entirely up to the choices that each makes. It is the responsibility of the ground crew to offer this choice to as many as possible, as well as to make that choice for themselves and to stick to it as the process continues through to completion. The cycles are coming to their inevitable completions and the opportunity window is beginning to close. Those beings that have evolved will respond. Those that choose otherwise are to be blessed and allowed to follow their own path. This is most difficult to allow for those connected by family ties and friendship, but there is too much important work to be done to dwell on their chosen future. Seeds planted do grow. Trust the process and keep on keeping on. The future of all depends on the ability to make the difficult decisions of each moment. The emotional strength to do what is necessary is available to all who are committed and who hold the highest and best good of all as their guiding principle. Each is asked to do only that which is the best they can do in the moment and to hold no regrets as to the decisions that are made and the actions that are taken. To learn to trust oneself within each moment-to-moment experience is to mature into responsibility, a necessary process for sharing the birth of a new paradigm. As each moves through the levels of experiencing into wisdom what is chosen, there is never a lack of the need to exercise courage, vigilance, and perseverance. They are the hallmarks of maturity and the signal that completion of a cycle of experience is at hand. Each must decide what point of maturity they have reached and if they are ready to take on a new level of challenge. This is not a project for the faint of heart, the lacking in courage and those without stick-to ability. Do you know where you are in relationship to this opportunity? Chapter 29. Within the flow of events that humans experience as a linear sequence or time, the progression of maturation has reached a level of experience internalized into wisdom that allows for a shift in pattern of experience. However, this shift is accessed through the free will choice that is innate within each evolving human. What is experienced as linear progression, when viewed through the more accurate holographic picture of experience, appears as piecemeal contributions to a dimensional whole. Linear observation reflects a flatter, less dimensional picture of progress gained through manifested occurrences experienced into wisdom. In order to comprehend how multiple lifetimes of experience can contribute to the wholeness of their contributions toward harmony and balance within the combined collection of these, it is important to gather them into a comprehensive unit. As the gathering of a unit of experiences nears completion, certain absences of experiential requirements become apparent. Thus certain missing accomplishments are assigned to complete the experiential unit. A great number of beings present on this planet now are focused on fulfilling their individual requirements for completion, or as you might consider it, graduation. This allows the indigenous population the advantage of the infusion of exceptionally talented individuals from various levels of advanced experience to assist their process of attaining the freedom to evolve independently. Who are these exceptional beings? There is no way to know, for they themselves do not know. Are those who read these messages one of these exceptional beings? Maybe. The point is, there is available a reservoir of talent with exceptional abilities. These have specific issues to experience into wisdom, and there is no accident that these beings are present on this planet now. Within their knowingness are the need and the desire to complete these experiences. These specific assignments are of value in the birthing of the new paradigm. It is suggested that each reader of these messages search their own heart and mind as to whether their life experience now is a satisfying one. If not, then perhaps within these messages there may be a resonance that allows them to awaken to the desire to fill an inner void that has heretofore been overshadowed by lifestyle, media programming, and the general malaise of disharmonious confusion that is proliferating now. It is worth considering the possibility carefully. The question arises within those who give this thoughtful consideration as to whether those of the other persuasion are aware of the presence of gifted entities. Indeed, this is possible and in many cases probable. Many have had their life ended purposefully by the opposing forces. Infiltration is a method used by those involved with both purposes. There is a natural curiosity to know what is going on within the other camp. This is often undertaken by individual choice rather than design, thus one that might appear to be involved on the other side, so to speak, is discovered and eliminated. Therefore, it is unwise to judge all participants as being what they appear to be. Those that have special talent often find themselves within romantic entanglements that lead them far from their specifically assigned experience. These often find there are difficult choices to be made in order to satisfy the inner urge to be elsewhere doing other things. It is to be recognized that the spiritual aspect of self has little to do with the standard religious affiliation that is pushed upon the average person. What satisfaction is found by most has more to do with the victim stance requiring a promise of a rescue connection than in actually finding spiritual fulfillment within the religious dogma programmed into their consciousness. In the search for more understanding of the empty feelings within them, they are stuffed with more dogma and misunderstood information, and few ever find true satisfaction except by intuiting beyond the available concepts. This is not to say that these messages are put forth as a new Bible. This information is for the education of all those on this planet receiving it that can let go of their current literal acceptance of media, religious and familial teachings as well as subliminal programming. This allows them to consider the possibility that there are other concepts and information available that can lead them to fulfill the inner urges that populate their own psyche. There is a greater plan that has been carefully laid in order to answer the long-continuing outcry through prayer and thought for release from the stifling hold on this planet in all of its inhabitants, inclusive of human and all other life forms. Each and every human on this planet is a part of that plan. How many will answer the inner call is yet to be known. Free will choice is the basic rule that can and will be exercised by all. The free will of those who do answer also includes the measure of commitment and action to spread the information that each allows themselves to do. The birthing of a new paradigm of experience upon this planet is an exercise in cooperation rather than competition to determine which is the stronger force. Cooperation through focus and intent within the underlying laws of the universe has power to manifest that is incomprehensible to the average mind on this planet. The functional brain of humans has had its activity purposefully lowered to prevent the movement toward freedom that these messages are designed to initiate. It is important that those who take this information seriously and intend to become part of the cooperative creative focus also intentionally begin to exercise their mental capacities. This can be done through games, experiential learning, and any other method that will separate them from the influence of the media and other dumbing down activities that are everywhere in the modern environment. The brain, like the body, deteriorates if it is not exercised. In order to focus and hold to a commitment, mental and emotional clarity is of the utmost importance. Reading information that is contrary to the promoted dogma and focusing thought for the purpose of discernment as to its validity and the possible intention of the writer is also recommended, including these messages. Much can be ascertained from them by intuiting the purpose of them. Each will, without doubt, intuit different reasons through this exercise. End chapter 29.